Get back into it. Part two got cut off. So I'm gonna jump back into it. We speaking on these 12 houses, you know, the 12 fields of consciousness, what I like to call it. So we just left Cancer, speaking on the house of Cancer, which is the fourth house, which is cardinal water. This is how you take a look at the mother. The moon rules Cancer, so that's how you can get a peek at the mother and see what type of connections with the mother. And we're moving on to the fifth house, which is fixed fire. This is the house of creativity, the house of entertainment, the house of your children. You can see what type of energy your children will have, see what type of employees and employers, you know what I'm saying, and your enemies. That's all in this house. Your rituals. What do you do day to day? This is what this house represents. So anything that got to do with that issues, look in this house in your chart and it will let you know what's going on, how that energy is played out. Me, I have North Node there in my sixth house. So I know a lot about this house. You feel me? So moving on, we're going to get into the seventh house. The seventh house deals with your partnerships, business partnerships, one-on-one partnerships, your marriages. This will tell you the type of energy your business partners will have and your spouse will have. Taking a look at this area in your chart. So if you have something like Saturn there that's causing restriction this could be the cause of the issues that you're going through in your relationships. Somebody that has Jupiter there, the planet of expansion, will have a lot of relationships there. And it's other factors, definitely depending on the chart, but I'm just giving an overview. So, and Virgo is mutable earth. That's what I meant to say. Virgo is mutable earth. So now we're getting into, like we said, Libra. We already said Libra, what that's dealing with. And that's ruled by Venus. So now we're getting into the eighth house, Scorpio house. You know what I mean? So when we get into the Scorpio house, it's a fixed sign. This is fixed water. So what you got to understand is Scorpio house is a house of your sexual force, sexual energy. You know what I mean? It's just basically like the house of contracts, inheritances. What you inherit from your family, money wise. Other people's money. So this is like your spouse money, your business partnership money. Like this is that house right there. Like this is ruled by it's a Scorpio house. So that's Mars and Pluto. So anything to do with inheritances and other people's money, your spouse and your business partner, those areas of life, this is what you want to look at. You want to look at this chart and look at that house in your chart and see what's going on there. Now we're getting into the ninth house, which is Sagittarius, which is cardinal fire. So now we're dealing with I'm sorry, not cardinal fire. It's mutable fire. This is mutable. Sagittarius. So when you're looking at Sagittarius, the house of Sagittarius, the ninth house, you're looking at traveling. So traveling, teachers, you know what I mean? Things like that. Higher knowledge, like not school knowledge, but things, you know what I'm saying, that's learned outside of school. Higher knowledge. So long distance travels, foreign relations, you know what I mean? That's this house. That's how you deal with, like, you can look in this house and see what people, they're traveling, different things like that, what type of philosophies that they like to engage in, things like that. It's just basically the planets and the signs in this house are going to tell you their approach to higher knowledge, higher wisdom. You know what I mean? How deep do they go in their experiences? So this is how you can reflect on that and understand with the house of Sagittarius. It's an action house, which is a fire house. So that's one thing you want to keep in mind. That's like I got Cancer in the ninth house, and that clearly showed me traveling, taking long distance travels to see my mother. And that's real shit. You know what I mean? That's real shit. So now we're moving along. we're going to move on into the 10th house, and that's the house of Capricorn. So now we're dealing with, what Capricorn is definitely mutable. You know what I'm saying? It's a mutable earth sign. So basically, when we speaking on Capricorn, this is the house of legacy, career. So your career and your legacy. This is the energy that's going to be basically surrounding your legacy or your career. So this is building upon the 2nd house and the 6th house, which dealing with like your values. The 2nd house, 6th house is your day-to-day duties, what you do day-to-day. And then, that leads into the legacy or your career. So this is where you can see that, what type of career or legacy these people have. How do they project themselves? You know what I'm saying? Pertaining those matters. So let's move on. Now we're going to get into the 11th house. And 11th house is Aquarius. And Aquarius is a fixed sign. Aquarius deals, the house of Aquarius, the 11th house, basically deals with hopes, dreams, the community, how you engage with the community, what type of organizations that you're dealing with. This is how you can see that within this house right there, what types of dreams, hopes people have, and the organizations. Who do you have helping you with your dreams? The type of people that you have helping you. So this is the energy that's in this house. And like I said, it's fixed air. This is a fixed air. Aquarius is air sign. So now we're moving on to Pisces, which is the 12th house. So the 12th house is mutable water. You know what I'm saying? So that's, dealing with jail, institutions, hidden enemies, mental health. This is opposite of the 6th house, which is the health house, foundation of the health house. And then we're building upon that. And this is mental health. You know what I'm saying? 6th house could be more like body or whatnot. It could be mental too. You could see things in that house too. But 12th, you can pretty much see what's going on with the mind in the 12th house, Pisces house. So like I said, hidden enemies, jail, institutions, things like that, selfless service, things like that. So anything to do with those things I just mentioned, I know some people with aspects that have them going to hospitals, have them going to mental institutions. You see the aspects of people even going to jail. So this is it's big to look in this house. This is a very important house. All of them are important, but mainly right now in this era that we living in with mental illnesses, it's, what I'm saying? It's important to look at this house and see what's going on in that house. Me, I got Pluto there. So that's just basically a transformation on the subconscious level. You know what I mean? One of the most spiritual planets in the most spiritual houses. You know what I'm saying? That's the highest spiritual placement when it comes to the 12th house with that Pluto being there. So yeah, that's basically a wrap up of the 12 houses, 12 fields of consciousness. And, this is just an overview without the coloring, without really knowing what's going on with the planets and the signs. So you need your time to activate the planets that's in that house, because without the time, it can only be so accurate. You know what I mean? So health issues, relationship issues, everything. You can see all of this. Children issues, you can see all of this stuff. Work issues, you can see all of this stuff. Mental issues, all in the chart. So I might leave a little link under so people can try to get their chart read. If they haven't done it yet, you can put that in if you know your time. So I'm out, y'all. Leave some comments, questions, or whatnot. This is